All right, guys, we're underway. The NFL season has gotten going, and it is going great for all of us fans down in Louisiana. So once again, the boys partnered up with the DraftKings Sportsbook to give you all a fantastic offer. So hopefully, even though your team's losing, you can feel good about the NFL. So what do you got to do? Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook, sign up, use my promo code DCTV, bet only $5 or more, and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Look, I don't care who your team is. I know that my team is rocking and rolling. All you got to do is sign up and use my promo code DCTV. Bet $5 or more and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Guys, at DraftKings, the crown is yours. Down in Louisiana, we going marching in, baby. $5, 200 in bonus bets instantly. But come on, baby. Who that nation? Let's rock.
Daniel
Cormier! Another episode of Funky and the Champ. I'm fat. Jamal's like skinny fat. Right? You're skinny fat.
Take it back.
Today I chose violence.
I'm suing. Sue them. I had the mute on for the fight. Sorry, Daniel. I did mute you.
You guys are going to be lifetime enemies because of the shit you say the moment you get a microphone in your face. Bro, you're crazy. What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of Funky and the Champ. I'm Daniel Cormier. That's my man, Ben Askren. Today, we're going to talk about the Sphere because everybody's talking about the Sphere.
Of course.
Then, we're going to talk a little bit about Madison Square Garden card getting announced and something Jon Jones said at the Sphere that was recorded. I don't know how these guys continue to get themselves recorded in public. Maybe they should learn something from
Maybe
the
they
NBA.
want to be recorded.
And at the end of the show, guys, we got Funky's Corner, where I'm going to lay out, and then Ben Askren is going to have his time in the show to do and discuss whatever you want. Today, he's going to discuss his new book, which just came out yesterday. Ben,
Boom.
the Sphere, man.
Sure. Amazing.
Was
I was sitting back, Daniel, and I was thinking I get to talk to Daniel this week, and I was wondering, sometimes in life, it's one of those things like, how in the hell did I get here? I remember when I stepped on the mat to wrestle Jordan Burroughs in front of a sold-out crowd at Madison Square Garden. I thought, number one, why am I wrestling this guy? Number two, I sold out a crowd at Madison Square Garden. Oh my God, isn't my life great? Are you sitting there as the announcer you're kind of at the center of this and you're thinking, holy shit, like, how did I get here?
Dude, I swear to God, there were so many pinch me moments on Saturday because so many things got promised to us as to what that event would be. And I thought it was better. I was sitting next to the Octagon, and you understand how enormous this situation is when you really just start to take note of everything, right? You see all the rehearsals and you see all the screens and this, but then when the crowd starts to filter in, and then you got Jeff Bezos right next to you, and you got Ari Emanuel and all these high-end celebrities and the people that matter the most having to be at this once-in-a-lifetime thing, you go, wow. And then you watch a sport that started in Alabama in a high school auditorium on that stage. So
how crazy is that?
It's crazy. It started in a high school auditorium, but it's not just about what I'm feeling. I think the excitement came from within, but also just taking note of where we are as a sport and how the UFC is just continuing to grow. I would never have imagined the UFC would have gotten to this point. It's absolutely insane to think how big this thing is becoming.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that presentation was so cool. It's obviously not something they need to do every time, but I also hope it's not the last time. I hope at some point in the future, maybe it's every 2 years or something. Every once in a while. It was just really cool to see something presented differently. Those backgrounds, I mean, I don't know what they looked like in person, but it was so wild on TV, how it looked three-dimensional. It looked like there was depth, and it was crazy.
Really?
Yes.
I was actually sitting there watching, like, every time they would do these little films, right? They called them films.
Yep.
Every time they would do a film, I would literally take my headset off and start to watch because I needed to be locked. I needed to be locked in. It was awesome. The way that the world would change and just fall and then the next fight would take place in a completely different arena. It was, I
Yes.
don't know how much time and effort went into doing that, but it seems like, dude, they had TV trucks. They had two of
Yes.
them.
Yeah.
They had, dude, we didn't see the producers of the show the entire week. No fighter meetings, no nothing. They were always at the Sphere trying to get this place ready. Now, you said something. You said, it's not something they got to do every time, but I'd like it to be another time that they
Yes.
go back. But here's the question in that regard, right?
Mhm.
Was it that special because it was supposed to
Yeah, it
be
was
once in a
awesome.
lifetime? If we start doing it every year, doesn't it become a little bit
That's
expected
what
and
I
not?
said. Maybe not even once a year. Maybe, every couple of years. Maybe you pop off for a 4th of July show, which they do fight weeks. Maybe
Oh,
you do
could
that
you
like
imagine?
say 2 years from now, celebrating America, or something to that effect.
Hey,
Yeah.
I said I was talking to John Anik about this yesterday. I said we could do a love letter to the United States of America. We may need to like kind of like leave a few things out here and there, but we might need to navigate around the history of the
Oh my
United States.
God.
But as we
Wow.
navigate around some of the history of the United States, I think it would be a fantastic presentation.
Yes.
But yes, it was awesome. And you know what was cool? Watching the fighters hit the curtain and some of them taking note, like Sean O'Malley
Yeah.
went.
Whoa.
You saw Sean's face? Sean
I
was
didn't
like,
see it. I didn't see it.
bro, if you watch Sean on his walk, he walks out and he kind of goes, then he tries to log back in. You could see it take him, like it surprises
Yeah.
him. And then he tries to like log back in. I don't know if I could have ignored all that was going on around me if I was out there fighting. Could you?
I mean, right, it would have been, you would have had to try your best. Let's see, have I ever competed? I mean, I don't think I've ever competed with something like that going
But
on.
I think like inside the
Yeah.
fight, you'd be fine. I
You
think
try to, yeah,
before,
you do your best.
I
What
think
if you
before,
stopped middle of fight? Said, "Oh my God, look at
no, no,
that!"
no. So I think what happens is I think inside the fight, it's just an octagon,
Yes,
right? It's just an octagon. I think where it becomes a bit overwhelming is when you start to walk towards the octagon.
yes.
But hey, the fight card, we had some good, we had some bad. That
I disagree with the bad.
no, we had some bad. We had some bad. Look,
Which
I'm not
one?
going to sit here and say Merab Dvalishvili's fight was bad. I thought that was
Okay,
pretty good. I
okay,
thought the Valentina
fair.
Shevchenko versus Alexa Grasso fight was just bad. I
Um,
thought it was just bad.
so I can agree with that, but then to that I would say, that was kind of what I expected, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
but
that's
then,
not the first time Valentina's done it, and so I guess maybe I had an expectation. And I made a video on AWA Wisconsin YouTube yesterday. I did my first MMA video, and it's like, Daniel, I'm sure you're a Saints fan, right?
oh yeah.
Okay. So at some point, I'm sure the Saints have played like a super defensive like game or maybe ran the ball way too much to get the win. And we are in sport, not only entertainment. So sometimes that's what you're gonna get.
Well, you know what was crazy to me?
Yeah.
Looking at the Sean O'Malley, Merab Dvalishvili
Mhm.
fight and how so many people expected O'Malley to win when in most cases you have a dominant wrestler like this going against a
Yeah.
striker. People take the wrestler, but I don't know
Yeah.
what made them believe that he would be the guy to do something different. Maybe it was the Aljamain Sterling fight that made
Yeah,
him
I think that
well defender.
was yeah, I think there was Aljo. So in my head, going into the Sean O'Malley Marab fight, I had on the one hand, you have the Aljo fight, right? And he looked great. And the other hand, you had like the Peter Yan fight where, I scored it for Peter Yan and Yan got a handful of takedowns. And so I was like, okay, well, has he evolved his wrestling defense? Has he elevated himself? But I was very split on who to pick in this fight. But I think I ended up picking Sean. And I just thought, he'll
You did
maybe.
too.
I think so. I mean, but I acknowledge that. Hey, like for me, it's almost a coin flip, but I'm gonna lean towards Sean.
Marab was the favorite to start, and then by the time the fight came, Sean was like a minus 160, 140
Damn, I didn't realize he was
favorite,
that
which is
much.
crazy. It
Yeah.
switched quite a bit from start to finish. Noche UFC was amazing. I thought that all the history of the Mexican culture was fantastic. It was awesome. Hey, Dana White said last night he's thinking about doing Noche UFC next year in Guadalajara, Mexico.
I don't
Could
even know
you
what that
imagine
means. Where's Guadalajara? I'm looking. I'm
in
googling it now.
Mexico? If they did UFC Noche
I know
in
what the.
Mexico, it
Oh
does
my
not
god.
matter where in Mexico. If they did Noche UFC in a town
Oh
in
my gosh,
Mexico,
you're so
it
funny.
would be crazy.
What
Could you
about by
imagine?
the Aztec pyramids?
Dude, we have Mexicans that live in America that go crazy at Noche UFC. Imagine going to Mexico and having Noche UFC where their culture, which is a beautiful
Mm-hmm.
culture, is put
Yeah.
and highlighted like that. Dude, it would be sick. Yo, the boy Luis, bro. Luis had the greatest seat of all time, Ben.
Oh, Luis was. Oh yeah, I forgot he was there.
He was there, bro. Luis. So did you see that those like to the like next to the octagon, there was like some bleachers kind of set up, like some fake bleachers right
Yeah, yeah,
next
yeah. Uh-huh,
where all
uh-huh.
the fighters were. Michael Chandler was sitting there and all those people.
Yes.
Luis was right next to him.
Oh my goodness.
Luis got the greatest seat in the arena, sat right next to Bilal Muhammad and Justin Gaethje. If there's a
Nice.
look, hey, look, if you want to feel like maybe your job doesn't make you as important as you want, just know that you as Justin Gaethje and Bilal Muhammad, who still fight for the company, won the
Yeah.
champion, you got the same seat as Luis,
I think
DC
Luis needs to
producer.
recognize you, Daniel, because Sean O'Malley's producer was crying the other day because he didn't get invited to the after party. And here you are getting Luis front row seats to the freaking greatest UFC of all
Wait, Sean
time.
O'Malley's producer was mad because
Listen,
he
okay. That was what I saw on YouTube. I'm sorry, on Twitter. You
all
get mad
time.
at me. Luis, fact check me. But I'm pretty certain I'm right here. I'm pretty certain. Luis, type in the chat.
Wait, wait.
I saw
Sean
it on
O'Malley.
Twitter. I saw it on
I
Twitter.
swear to God, bro. I have been literally telling everybody all week. I'm like, I've been spending so much time with Ben. I'm turning into Ben because now I
Oh
believe
no.
everything off Twitter. Bro, it's so bad. Sean O'Malley's producer was sad.
All
What
right.
was this nigga? Why would
I'm gonna search it now.
why would he not take him to the after party, bro?
That's what I'm
I am seeing that online.
See?
I fucking made the press conference fucking massive. I fucking went to Morocco.
Yes, I was right.
Wait, he's crying?
I said to their face. I could, and their Georgians followed me back.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yes.
What is that?
Yes.
That dude should be fired. That dude should be fired. He
That's
should be fired. That guy
Luis,
should
do you
be.
realize how great of a job you have with Daniel? This guy's making his producer cry. He's over here getting you front row seats. Can you see the difference here,
God.
Luis?
Oh my God. He was crying,
Hey.
Luis.
How about how I was right? I watched it on
Hey, you
Twitter.
were right. You were right. That's very rare. Ben, hey, we take too
That's
good
very
of care.
rare.
Maybe next time. Maybe next time. Maybe next time Luis's ass gets left outside the building, man. Forget that's crazy. Treat him like Sean O'Malley's producer. That's nuts. All in all, UFC Noche was awesome, man. I got a jersey, Ben. I got this sick Noche UFC jersey that I'm gonna wear. And hey, I brought one for Cain Velasquez because Cain
Nice.
Velasquez can't go
Yeah, why did he
to
go?
Noche UFC. Dude, remember he's on
can't
house
leave
arrest.
California.
He's on house arrest. He can't leave to go watch the fight.
Ugh.
I tried to invite him to a concert. I tried to invite him to a concert and make him security because if he's working, he can actually go do stuff. But
Oh, it's good. Yeah.
it didn't work out for him. It was a great idea in theory, but it didn't work out. He wasn't real willing to risk it. Ben, as we spin it forward, we go to Salt Lake City, Alex Pereira versus Khalil Roundtree. But the one that follows is the one that most is super excited about, as Jon Jones will finally return and fight Stipe Miocic, and Michael Chandler was announced to be fighting Charles Oliveira in a rematch. Jon Jones was in the arena on Saturday. Ben,
Yes.
so as it always happens, I'm sitting there doing my job. Guess who always comes up to say hi to me?
John.
I can't stop it. It happens every time. I don't
I
understand.
thought you and John were buddies now.
But we're not buddies. We're just like we're not buddies. I don't we
that
don't
was a joke.
talk.
That was a joke.
We don't really talk. But it's like every time it's like you end up in the situation where you're shaking hands.
Yeah.
Because what am I supposed to do?
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I find, like, for example, I find Miles Bell to be annoying as shit. And, you know, most people probably don't feel that same way. And you probably feel that way about Jon Jones. And most people probably don't feel that way. So I understand it. It's part of
Have you
part of
seen
the
George
competitor.
Masvidal since you guys have all this?
I've seen him.
Do you shake hands when you see him, though?
I don't think I've seen him, and I don't know if I would shake hands. He said he wanted
What
to
would
fight me
happen?
He said he
It's
would
such a
fight me in the
weird
Whole
thing.
Foods, so I'm waiting for him to show up at the Whole Foods.
It's such a weird thing, right? So like I don't really care anymore. So we just
Yeah.
kind of shake his hand and go about my business, right? I'm
Mhm.
doing my job as he's doing his, but
Yes.
he was in the arena, right? As was everybody was in the arena last
Yep.
weekend. It was, oh my God. First off, or let's talk about this, but I
P.
don't want to
Diddy
get off
wasn't there,
track.
was he?
Oh my God. Hey, bro, I know. I know.
He's
Yo,
so arrested.
what?
I listened to his charges. That mug, he's going to jail forever. It's so bad. He's going to
Bro,
jail forever.
Diddy had
I
a
hope you don't
thousand.
like P. Diddy.
Diddy had 1,000 containers of lubrication.
Oh my God. You heard that? I heard it on Twitter. I hope it's not wrong.
You can't make a joke about this stuff, man. You cannot make this shit a joke. Hey, bro,
I said he's going to jail. There's no
he is
joke.
going to jail. He is going to
Okay.
jail. But like, I always wonder, who was at these freak offs? Like, who was at these freak offs? I have a sneaky suspicion that some of the names that were there are going to start coming to light because this
Well,
dude's
hopefully it's
probably
not
looking
like
at
Epstein client list where it
he's
just
looking at
disappears forever.
100 years. This
Yeah, he
dude's looking at
deserves it.
He's looking at 100 years. That dude gonna start telling on people. He gonna start telling on people.
Well, he
So,
got the videos.
well, hey,
That's kind of what he's in trouble for.
he's in trouble for a lot of things, man. Not just that. He's in trouble for a lot of things. But hey, one time I was doing a podcast with my cousins, and we were like hanging up as it was ending. My nephew goes, "So wait, are we not going to talk about Diddy?" And then it just went
my
black because everybody's like trying not to touch the whole Diddy situation. Bro, it was crazy, dog. It was so crazy. I've been traveling all around the world, but no matter the stress or the situation, Vaya had the boy elevated through it all. I just had to let y'all know too, because the gummies are game changers. I sleep better. I can relax well, even my back pain, because after all the fighting, all the surgeries, the boy be hurting. Vaya's organic flour is of the highest quality. Their THC and THC free gummies, awesome. The Dream Sleep gummies, though, they be having the boy knocked out, snoring. Those are my go-tos. So if you're 21 or older, check out the link to Vaya in our description and use the code DCTV. We'll give you 15% off. And after you purchase, they'll ask you what you heard about them. So please support my show and tell them that I sent you. Prioritize your recovery and enhance your everyday with Vaya. It sure got the boy DC living life floating. Anyhow, speaking of a wild boy, Jon Jones is a wild boy. So the other day, not Diddy wild, but Jon Jones is a wild boy. Jon Jones was caught on camera saying that this fight is his last fight, guaranteed. What do you make of that?
Oh, I hear it with a note of sadness because I want to see him fight Tom Aspinall. I've said that
ain't
forever. Doesn't appear to be happening. It really sucks. Tom Aspinall. Man, it sucks that I have to speak against Stipe because I have nothing against him. I actually think about Stipe favorably. But he hasn't fought in forever. It's like I just don't understand. I know he's had great results, but it's been 4 years or something. And so it's like Tom Aspinall has been out here in the streets beating everyone up. I would love to see Tom Aspinall versus Jon Jones. And honestly, and then the other Ngannou is somewhere else also. So this is a case where we're just not getting to see the best guys fight the best guys, and it sucks. Maybe we're spoiled.
You are spoiled. And I said the next one after that, but I skipped over Abu Dhabi, which might be the deepest fight card away into Topuria and all those great fights. So, but in New York City, Jon Jones will fight Stipe Miocic. And in terms of name recognition, this is the fight that you want in Madison Square Garden. 1,000%. Michael Chandler will fight Charles Oliveira in a rematch. Dude, hearing Jones say, or hearing the rumor that Jones said, this is it for me, it sucks because I do believe that there is some work left to be done with Aspinall, mainly. I don't think anyone else right now warrants him sticking around.
No, just
I really don't, because we saw what he did to Cyril Gane.
Well,
and
but the problem is that Tom Aspinall has proved he's this guy. And so when we have this guy, and Jon Jones has been actively fighting, so not super active, but it's like we want to. Why can't we see him? We want to see him. They're both there. Put them together.
No, I understand, but there's one guy that could warrant him sticking around, and that's Tom Aspinall. But if he doesn't want to fight Tom Aspinall, then it really does not matter what he's doing, right?
Yes.
He could just be sitting around making money. Yo, Jon Jones just bought like a $5 million house. I saw a picture of him, like a $5 million house in.
That means he's got a lot of property taxes to pay. Better keep fighting.
But he also lives in New Mexico, right? You actually have to live in New Mexico to get a. But that's a beautiful house. Guy's obviously doing well. Probably just doesn't want to fight anymore.
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
So what happens, right? You walk away. I believe that when push comes to shove, they may nudge him if he gets through Stipe.
Mm-hmm.
They nudge you.
Yep.
They nudge you.
Yep.
And then you end up getting more money, and then you ultimately fight. But now it's that Aspinall's officially the backup fighter. But what happens, Ben, if somebody gets hurt? Which one of those dudes is going to say, okay, I'll fight Tom Aspinall? Which one of them will actually stay in the fight?
Set up. They have to.
Come on, dude.
Come on, do it. Do it.
Come on. Pavlovich was the backup fighter in New York City when Jones and Stipe were scheduled to fight the first time. Jones got hurt. Stipe pulled out. Aspinall fought against Pavlovich. There is no guarantee that because he's the backup fighter, somebody's going to fight him. I would almost guess that if someone gets hurt, Tom Aspinall stays on the card and he fights neither one of those guys.
That way, I mean, yeah, I'm in. I'm in for it.
What do you think? You think
Tom Aspinall wants to fight? He shows up and he fights people. Also, how did you know that property tax rates in New Mexico were one of the lowest in America? Very impressive.
They're low.
Daniel. One of the lowest in America.
I never said that. I wish I was that smart. What I said was
live in New Mexico.
Yes, that's all I said. I didn't say property taxes were the lowest in the country. I did not know that. But good for Jones. Yeah, neither one of those guys are fighting Tom Aspinall if they don't have to. It'll be Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane or somebody for the interim championship, because those guys are fighting each other and nobody else, Ben. Hey, your boy Michael Chandler's fighting. What do you think happened? What do you think moved Mike off of his stance that he was waiting for Conor McGregor?
I almost tweeted this the other day. I got distracted. And so I'm going to say it right now. This is, because it's going to make this the biggest podcast in MMA. We might already be. I think we're people's favorites. I think.
We're doing really good. We're doing really good.
No, it's pretty obvious to me that Conor McGregor is an addict. And he is charismatic enough, rich enough, that it doesn't really have a hugely negative impact on his life. And so everyone kind of lets him do what he wants to do. But it's like, this guy clearly is out partying, can't show up for a training camp. And then because he can't show up for training camp, he can't get ready to fight. I mean, there's videos of him partying constantly. And listen, if you're rich and famous, and I guess you're not murdering anyone or anything worse where you're going to go to jail, I guess fine, whatever. You go live your life. But he did kind of drag on this fact that he was going to fight for 2 years. So it's really annoying. But I was probably on record saying he's not fighting in 2023. I was on record saying Michael Chandler should move on and just say, hey, you're not a serious fighter anymore. You're an addict and you can't train. I've said that many times. And so I think for me,
what's he addicted to, Ben? What's he addicted to? Drugs or alcohol?
Probably both.
You think he's just out there fucking just going crazy?
Well, I mean, listen, I don't know that I can make any pronouncements without actually having seen him do it, but I watched enough videos to know that this guy's out of control. He's partying constantly, and from all rumors, he's on multiple substances.
Remember, Chael told me at one point he was in rehab. That's why he didn't fight. Conor McGregor is in rehab for alcohol and drugs, and that's why that fight was canceled. Chael said that on ESPN.
I mean, he might be right. I don't know.
I don't know, dude. Like, I told Chael this the other day too. Like, Jamil Kelly made a statement. He goes, man, you just believe everything Chael and Ben say. I go, where there's my friends. They're my friends, and we do these podcasts. He's like, These dudes be on Twitter. You just be believing everything they say. I was like, man, I think I was like, sometimes that
maybe he
stuff be
went to
true.
rehab and he broke out because I just see him partying all the time.
Dude, I don't know. Like rehab doesn't seem to work for everybody because
For some people,
remember that one time Jon Jones was in rehab for 12 hours?
but he
That
was.
was crazy. Yeah, he went to rehab for like 12
No, I don't
hours.
remember that.
They don't make you stay. Rehab should be like where when you go, you're like obligated to stay for a certain amount of time, like
Yeah,
jail.
like almost like prison.
Hey, you know what happened to me the other day, Ben? It was the craziest thing ever. So I'm watching Netflix, right? And this you know how like it plays next, like something plays next. So this documentary about John Gacy comes on. So
He was
listen,
he was like a murderer, right?
so I'm watching this thing, right? And Gacy is in episode 1, he's a normal house husband. He's a husband in his house. He has a business, and they're talking about him. And I'm watching it halfway through the episode, and because they're saying John Gacy, then they start going Gacy, 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 Gacy. So then I'm watching it, and I look over to Kassan, and I go, "Hey, Kassan," and she's like, "What?" I was like, "I think this guy Gacy did it, man." I was like, "This guy," I was like cracking the code, Ben. I had figured out the killer in episode 1, not knowing
Wow.
I was watching a documentary about the killer clown, John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah,
I
he was
didn't
he was like
know.
a longtime murderer or something,
He
like serial
killed 30
killer.
something people.
Oh
But
my
I
God.
literally thought I felt so proud of myself. I was like, I'm cracking the code. In episode 1, I was like, I think I know who did it. I was like, I think it's Gacy. And then Cassandra looks at me and goes, "You stupid idiot. His name is John Wayne Gacy, the killer." I go, "Oh my God, it's the killer clown." But they weren't saying Wayne, John Wayne Gacy. They were saying
Yeah.
Gacy, Gacy, Gacy.
He
So
might have been from Wisconsin, unfortunately. We got a lot of serial killers
he
up here.
was. He was
He
from
was from
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, right? Wasn't that the thing?
He was living in Illinois, but I think he was from Wisconsin. It's so bad. He was such a weird dude, man. Oh my God. I had so like I was having trouble sleeping last night after watching this dude. I was I was having trouble.
Wow.
You know,
Oh, you're funny.
I was having trouble. Dude, I
All
swear
right,
to God, I thought I
let's
cracked.
get off John Wayne Gacy and giving kids nightmares and back to MMA where we're having
Yeah,
fun.
dude, it was awesome. It was
It was awesome.
he got killed, bro. They actually executed him in only 14 years. They got people that sit on death row for 30 years. They
That's
got
kind
him
of
in
crazy,
14
isn't it?
years. Huh?
That's kind
14
of
years.
crazy to sit on death row that long.
They sit that long on death row. Anyhow, Ben Askren. All right, we want to start this new segment for you. It's called
Yes.
Funky's Corner, where I give you some time to talk about a topic that you found on Twitter or maybe on Truth Social, whatever those maybe
True
you found it
social. I'm
on
not on that one.
maybe you found it on one of those types of social media platforms.
I could say all
Or
kinds of
something on
things. I
promote.
could just go on forever.
You got a little bit of time, Ben?
Okay.
Have fun.
Well,
my guy.
hey,
I wanna
Daniel,
listen.
I want to ask you this. Have you checked out my new book, Extreme
Ooh.
Balance? I would have sent you one, but I know you don't love to read.
Well, you already I already
Audiobook.
bought I bought a whole bunch of books from you just the
No,
other
that
day.
was
The
a
wrestling
journal.
journal.
That was a journal. That was a wrestling journal for your athletes.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a book. It's about extreme balance. So, I don't even know if you know this. We interviewed athletes for this book. So my buddy Gerald Mearshardt's in there, Chris Weidman. I attempted to interview you,
No,
but
you
you wouldn't show up for a phone call. So I didn't want to bug you too much. I asked you like once or twice, and then
Are you serious?
yeah. So it's about the balance of mindsets. And so, for example, I'll give you an example. Let's see, let me think, what's a good Daniel one? All right, let's talk about this one. So chapter 8, respecting your opponent and trying to crush your opponent. So, it's like a balance because I think, you could probably think about the kids you coach. Some of them, they probably respect their opponents too much and they're
Yep.
kind of maybe have a fear of them. And then some of your kids, they probably don't respect their opponents enough. They want to crush them, but then sometimes because of that, they're a little bit careless, And so the idea of the whole book is that you need to balance both sides. You need to have them both and use them at the correct time. So like when you're maybe waking up in the morning and you're not super motivated because you don't respect your opponent, you still need to get up and train and say, my opponents are capable. I need to work hard. But then when you're walking out to the mat, the last thing you want is to say, oh, this guy's freaking good.
Really
Oh
good.
my
Yeah, you
God.
know,
His high crotch is so good. You don't be scared. What do you think about this idea?
it's awesome. Like I
Okay.
think it's a great idea. And also, honestly, man, if I can give you your flowers, I think that you are one of the best coaches in the country
Thanks,
at any
buddy.
level. And I think that your mentality to in your approach to competition is next level. That's why you are having so much success. Not only you, but as your athletes go forward.
Yeah.
And this is a great thing. Yeah, I'm going to buy some of those books
So
for my athletes. Bro, I'm so tired of just lining your pocket with money. I
Ha!
paid so much for those journals. And now
I
I'm going to
gave you
go.
such a deal. You stop it.
I paid so much for those journals, and now I'm going to pay so much for your book. Like I'm your greatest
Oh my
customer,
goodness.
guys. Ben Askren's new book, it's called Balancing,
Extreme balance. Extreme
extreme.
balance. It's
Ben
actually out
Askren.
of stock on Amazon. We sold
Stop
that
one
many
second.
on
Wait,
day one.
stop. Luis, I'm starting again. All right, guys. Ben Askren's new book, Finding Balance, is on or Extreme Balance, is on Amazon.com. Right now, it's out of stock. So make sure you set some reminders so that when Ben's book comes back, you guys can make sure you get it. Ben, is there anywhere else you can get the book outside of
Well,
Amazon?
you can still get the Kindle version and the Audible version. And I don't think it's gonna be that long until it's back in stock. I think it's only like, I think they said like 10 days or 2 weeks or something to that effect for them to get some more.
Yo, Luis is such a liar. He's like, I'm so glad I got one before it sold out. He's a liar, man. He's fucking, this dude is sucking up to you. God
Oh my
dang,
God.
Luis always sucking
He
farts
did.
out of Ben Askren's
Hey,
ass.
can I ask the Daniel Cormier fans for one favor? My publisher, entrepreneur, said it's really important that we get some Amazon reviews. I didn't know this was so important, but they said they keep stressing this. So if you guys appreciate the podcast, you want to do me a huge favor and you get the book, give me an Amazon review also.
Yeah, give my boy Ben Askren an Amazon review. Guys, that's another episode of Funky and the Champ. That's Ben Askren. I'm Daniel Cormier. Until next time, like, subscribe, and make sure you guys go and get Extreme Balance off of Amazon. Until next time, Ben, peace.
See ya.